how have you understood that concept of staying present, not trying to be someone else,
Okay.
and
Um,
sharing it with your students?
it's literally every time I bump my head, recording that and using it as a tool to be able to relate and show people that and show my students and my clients that I understand exactly where they're at because I've been there. And then where I'm at currently, how I got there, how I overcame those things to get to where I'm at currently, because I'm still being, and I'm still continuing on this journey. But I am, and that's the only difference between a teacher or a coach and the client or student is that, we're both still on journeys. It's just that we're a little further in the journey. So I'm
Hmm.
just showing them how I got a little further in the journey, how I was able to get a little further in the journey than where they are right now or where they may be stuck at. Um,
Right.
that
And what those
was
things are for you? What are those things for you?
I battle with deep insecurity, deep rejection issues, um, a lot of different, couple of different traumatic experiences that happened growing up. Um, being emotionally suppressed and things like that to the point of not knowing, how to uh, be in touch with or be myself around people, and just learning how to wear masks and being really
Mm,
good at being manipulative so that I can be what the room needs me to be and what people need me to be, and not or who I think they need me to be so that they'll like me,
mm,
and everything like that. Like I was very skilled, and I'm still very skilled. I just don't use it that way anymore. But was
mm.
very skilled at surviving that way. My whole life was about survival because it wasn't comfortable in my own skin and who I was. So my whole
Right.
life was about survival. So I learned how to survive, and that those while as miserable as those experiences were along the way, and as much peace as I lacked, despite all the achievements, I wouldn't be changing the lives and impacting the lives that I'm impacting now and helping people find their way if I
Right.
if I didn't go through those things, because I only work in the areas of what I know, and
Mm,
I've been through so much that there's very few people that come across my way that I work with that I haven't been where they're at, and so
right.
I directly relate to them and they can feel that. And
Yeah.
that trust barrier is quickly broken so that we can get to work and get busy.
Yeah. That's dope. I mean, what I'm hearing is that your your knowing of your experience, your history of what you move through allows you to relate to what other people are going through as well. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's,
I
yeah,
heard
go ahead.
I heard somebody say, your story is your glory.
Mm,
And we
like
have to
that.
get comfortable. We have to get comfortable using all of it,
Hmm. Hmm.
not especially the bad parts, especially the traumatic parts,
Right.
especially the parts where I messed up and hurt people around me tremendously,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
that's we have to be able to use those things because we go through those things, whether we should or we shouldn't have gone through them. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But we go through those things, and to get what out of it? Like, if we don't use it for good, if we don't figure out a way to use those things to further not just our lives but the lives of the people around us, then what is it for? Because that's, in my opinion, that's what I believe the purpose of the human experience
Mm, hmm.
is
Hmm.
helping
Hmm.
each other move forward based on the things that we've created. you know we
Absolutely.
create constantly. We create good and we create bad constantly, and then what we have to do with that creation of good and bad is take those things and learn how to connect with people through it. And then once we there you go then once we
There it
connect with
is.
people.
You said
Exactly.
that's Jalen, right?
Julian.
Julian.
Yeah.
What up, Julian?
Mhm. And so then yeah, we're constantly creating, and what we don't realize is that every day of our life is about creating.
Hmm.
And some of the things we create are bad situations. Some of the things we create are good situations. Both of those are opportunities to connect with people. And once we're able to connect with people, then we're able to contribute. And those are the 3 steps to life that we're doing every day: create, connect, contribute. Create,
Hmm.
connect, contribute.
That's dope. Yeah, thank you for that. And like, how are you taking these beautiful philosophies and creating practices around them to move yourself or remind yourself of these philosophies and
Yeah.
also to help your students?
Well, first things first, I'm only able to do it, to be honest, to be completely honest with you, is because of God Himself. Like the things He took me, like the fact that I'm able to do that is because do these things and achieve these things and serve people in this way is because of Him. Because I didn't have to come out of what I came out of on the right side,
Hmm.
or
Amen.
necessarily even still be here alive today. So that's number one. Number two is that just really meditating on everything. Meditating on not just meditating on the word, but just meditating on my life and the lessons that I've learned, and everything that I use to help you know um is through dance, through the lens of dance. And I have a story around that, actually. So my whole entire career, I was trying to, for the better part of my career, I was trying to be a famous dancer. Let's just keep it honest. I was trying to be that dude that what the twins are. That's what I was trying to achieve.
Right.
That wasn't my destiny. That was not my purpose. And I couldn't achieve, and I kept hitting a wall because I was trying to fight for something that wasn't mine to have.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that fight, a lot of scenarios happen. Not winning that fight and constantly hitting a wall taps into, and coupled with my deep insecurities, rejection issues, and the traumas that I haven't dealt with, and the mask that I wear. Ultimately, long story short, I hit rock bottom in a very bad way. And I blame dance. I thought dance was the problem, and I had a conversation with God one day, and I was like, listen, man, like I really wasn't having a relationship with Him, at this point. But I grew up in the church, and things like that, but I didn't really have a relationship with Him. And so I was just like, listen, if you are who you say you are, then either the way I see it is I'm facing 2 roads. I'm either going to go down this road I'm on and just commit to it and be 100% the foul, messed up dude that I am currently right now,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to show me how to walk down the other path. Because the other path, I have no idea how to walk down that path.
Mm.
And then I went to sleep. I was in tears, and then I went to sleep. And then honestly, I woke up the next day feeling completely new.
Mm.
Like my weed addiction was completely gone.
Wow.
My porn addiction gone, and my drinking
Mm.
gone. All of those things, I did not have any desire, and I was waking and baking like crazy. All those things went away. So right then and there, I felt like that was a signal to let's get to work.
Right.
So then I
Right.
was like,
Right.
all right,
Right.
I hear you. Let me learn more. And see, it wasn't a religious thing for me. It was like, okay, let me figure out who the heck you are. Like, let me learn more about you. Like, because I don't go there's no real churches to go to out here. So it wasn't that for me. Like, I'm literally just looking at the facts and the things that I'm reading and putting 2 and 2 together, and this, that, and the third, and just like, wow, yo, like this is what you're doing in my life. This is what you've done in my life that I didn't even realize. Holy crap. So my first instinct was, oh, I need to throw dance away because this dance industry is horrible. Like I can't be partners with you. That's how I looked at it back then. I was like,
Right.
I can't be partners with you and then be in this industry. So I thought I
Right.
had to get out the industry. So I stepped away for about a year.
Okay.
And in that year, I was just focused on healing, like, first and foremost spiritually, getting to know who I am, all those things. And then after a year, and I was not even thinking about dance, but then after a year, I got a message to do this workshop.
Mm,
And it just so happened it was in a period where it was kind of rough and I needed money. And so I was like, you know what? I need the money. Let me go do this.
yeah.
So I did it. And because I see life through the lens of dance, everything I was reading in the scriptures, I was equating it to dance. And so I was learning how to take the things in the scriptures and use that to teach more clarity around how to learn dance. So it wasn't like I was like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here preaching and telling people, yo, in Matthew chapter 5, and this is how we dance, where it was just
Right.
like the wisdom, the principles and stuff like that. I was like, yo, this makes sense. So how does it apply to every other aspect? So I was applying it, and I found out that I was more clear on what people needed in order to achieve their dance moves. And what also started to becoming clear to me was that um, what we need to achieve our dance to achieve the growth in our dance, the same things that we need to achieve growth in our life.
Yeah.
And so I started talking on that in a very baby infant stage form,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
compared to how I do it now.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, because I always do a talk at the end and Q&A and all that stuff. So afterwards, this guy comes up to me and says, yo, I really like what you were saying. It really was inspiring. I was like, oh, cool, man. And he was like, he was like, you should do a TED Talk. I was like, I was like, yo, I love TED Talk. That would
Yeah.
be dope. I don't see that happening though, because I'm just a hip
Mm,
hop dancer.
mm.
You know what I
Just a
mean?
hip hop dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how still saw myself back then.
Totally.
And we're gonna get to that whole identity part of that. But so he was like, no, 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 I'm dead serious. He's like, my wife, she's one of the people, she's one of the volunteers for TED Talks. I'm going to give her your information. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't think anything was gonna happen.
Totally.
About a week later, I get a email that they want to have a Skype meeting with me. We have a Skype meeting, and they say, okay, give us your spiel. And like, I'm like, what you mean? Like, they're like, just what would you do for the audience? How would you get us interested in what you have to say?